Next, they say if you can't beat them, join them, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them. Like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Good morning, how's it going today? You're listening to the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast. Back at 6 o'clock this morning, you've got Alan Brazil, and I think it's what's Dean's like his fourth best friend, his fourth bestie. Dean Saunders, the legend himself, the storyteller, will be with Alan Brazil from 6 o'clock this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast. Coming up for you now over the next hour, we've got all the action and drama from last night, European football, which of course had to compete with the Traitors final. We know a lot of people, 10 million, watched the Traitors last night. We will give away some spoilers in a moment. Plenty of England in the back pages as well. Thomas Tuchel will name his latest England squad today. We'll get into those. Plus, the Premier League rolls on. There's a top of the table clash in the Champ and much more coming up for you. Early breakfast on the way here on talkSPORT. How's your morning going? 5 o'clock. Are you heading up the road? Are you just getting on the road? Are you on the old night shift? Are you in the cab? Good to be with you today. Let's just start briefly with Traitors because I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched it all on TikTok. This is my thing now. I feel when I'm behind on something, type it into TikTok. You'll get everything you need to know, including a lot of social media abuse in there as well. But really, it kind of keeps you across absolutely everything. So I've been catching up with Traitors on TikTok. Saw a bit of it last night. Can we say it, Sam? You are allowed to say it, right? It's like we're not keeping secrets here, are we? Right. So Alan Carr basically smashed it, right? And if you've not seen it, when he reveals himself, that sounds weird. When he reveals himself as being the traitor, he didn't reveal himself on a telly. Don't worry. But basically, I cried. I thought it was just really emotional. Maybe I'm hormonal, but I just found it to be like, oh my God, wow. I know it's only 2 weeks filming and it's a show, and the money, I think it's 87,500 going to his charity of choice, but oh, it must be like a lot on you. And the nation gets so invested in it. And now the rumours are going around this morning that Alan Carr is going to do Strictly. I'm like, oh, perfect. That would be perfect, actually. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of drama from Traitors last night. There was football as well. Don't worry about it. We'll get to that in just a second. Back pages focusing on what happened at Villa Park last night. That's the back page of the Telegraph, and the front page pull out of Telegraph Sport. Discrimination wins out on night of shame. That's Oliver Brown in the Telegraph today. The Times is going for a night of football like no other. Aston Villa hosted Maccabi Tel Aviv with no away fans inside, protests and 6 arrests outside, but worst fears unfulfilled is back page of the Times today. Looking at the Sun newspaper, they're focusing actually on Jude Bellingham. Charlie Wyatt reporting that Thomas Tuchel will be recalling Jude Bellingham when he announces his England squad later today. Of course, as ever, as that happens, we'll have you covered here on talkSPORT. There's a lot of talking points actually going into this England announcement. Who's going to be in there? Who will be recalled? Will we see the likes of Grealish in there? Will Danny Welbeck be in there? Will Jude Bellingham be back in the squad? I mean, if he's not, you would think it's purely a personal thing because he's been in great form since coming back from his surgery, hasn't he? What else is in the papers today? Back page of the Times today. Elgin Alderman saying that Marcus and Finn jumping at the bit, says Borthwick, as pair hope to make a case for All Blacks game. Smith has chance to impress. Steve Borthwick has named Finn and Marcus Smith at fly half and full back respectively against Fiji, giving them a chance to impress before the visit of New Zealand to Twickenham. And then there's an update as well by Martin Hardy on Wolves. We believe that Wolverhampton Wanderers had an official approach to make Rob Edwards their next manager, rejected by Middlesbrough. I wouldn't mind seeing Rob Edwards back in the Premier League. Let's move on to what happened last night. We're at the midway point of the league phases of the Europa League and the Conference League, and here's how last night action sounded for you here on the talkSPORT network.
Plenty of time, Morgan gives right to weigh up his options. Right-footed, and it's saved by the goalkeeper down to his left. In a largely frustrating second half, Forest have drawn a blank.
Action-packed European football on talkSPORT 2. Miners inside the box for Alkmaar. It's in the back of the net, and Alkmaar are back in this game. Here's Mateta on the centre circle. Lovely ball through. Here's Ismail Assar, and he makes it 3. Wonderful finish.
No nerves now. What a response. Can he get the finish? Of course he can. He's on top form.
It's exciting to think, isn't it, what Palace may achieve in this European campaign.
Villa started the day 10th. Their destiny hinging around their remaining home games.
Referee just making sure everyone stays back, and he's tucked it into the bottom left-hand corner. Marlon doubling Villa's lead with a controversial penalty to make it 2-0. And Aston Villa have got the job done. Very routine in the end.
Master week of football, hasn't it? The Champions League. Last night, the Europa League and the Conference League centre stage. Midland beat Celtic 3-1. Disaster. I was getting the kids sorted for bed and I just looked at the halftime score 3-0. I was like, ugh. And then producer Sim texted me with a skull emoji. I was like, brilliant, excellent. Struggling and a little bit of humbling there for Martin and Neil. Don't forget, by the way, the Danes are top of the table. Celtic, though, 27th in the Europa League phase. Strumgras and Forest managed a goalless draw. Gibbs White missed a penalty. Leaves Forest now 22nd in that table. Rangers beaten at home by Roma. Rangers bottom of the entire table, 36th. And Aston Villa in the Europa League beat the Maccabi Tel Aviv at 2-0. Flying high in 6th and in a good position for qualification. And you just look at the amount of football they've got to play at the moment, cutting out those games, the playoff games, would be good for Aston Villa. Let's focus on the other story, maybe the main story then of the night up there. Hundreds of protesters descended on Birmingham to demonstrate at the Aston Villa match against Maccabi Tel Aviv. A large number of pro-Palestinian supporters waving banners and flags outside Villa Park, while a smaller group of pro-Israeli campaigners marched towards the grounds in the wake of the decision to ban away fans from the game. A number of arrests were made as well. We've had this covered in our news last night. Nick Ellerby, who's usually with us here, was up at Birmingham outside Villa Park all day yesterday covering this story for us. In terms of the game, Villa did what they needed to do, but Unai Emery wasn't happy with all elements of the performance.
We conceded more chances than we planned. and we made some mistakes. But overall, in 90 minutes, we dominate. We played always with the good result in front, and we managed the match, trying to close with those 3 points, and doing some management as well with the players to try to get a good balance with the matches we are playing.
Unai Emery there, the Villa manager, gave up a few chances to Aston Villa last night in that game. But getting the job done all the same, that's for sure. On to Forest now, decent point away, but could have had all three had Gibbs White converted his penalty. Their manager Sean Dyche reflected on the game to our good friends at TNT Sports.
I think particularly first half dominant, not just with the ball, but dominating the chances created and the quality of chances, other than the penalty, which is an obvious great chance, golden chance. But the other chance we had, from set pieces, but some of the open play chances and some of them final moments where we just didn't capitalise on. So more frustrated in the sense of not scoring a goal, because the first half was a very dominant performance, as I said, particularly with the ball, but also creating good chances. Second half we faded a little bit. We've come here with not many options. Players who we're having to use games to get them fit because we can't get so much work into them. There were some really good performances. I thought Ibra was excellent in midfield. Yatesy working with him as well. The centre half, Morato comes in and plays well. John comes in and plays well. Some good signs, but you come away frustrated overall, because I thought we were the strongest side overall, and if we take one of them chances, the game often opens up and you fancy yourselves to go and score again. But credit to them, they had to work hard as well, and they stuck at it, and the crowd stood behind them. So I'm not discounting their part in the game at all.
Sean Dyche there, speaking to the media after that goalless draw last night. Just looking at the table for them, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, now we're at this stage of the competition. We're in the second season in. I actually thoroughly enjoy the league phase of it all. My phone keeps flashing, it's doing my head in. It keeps crashing. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at Dyche in terms of coming in at Forest. He's won a game, he's lost a game, he's drawn 2 from his first 4 in charge at Nottingham Forest. If we have to, we'll now head up the road to Scotland, where Jamie O'Hara says it's fallen off a cliff, it's embarrassing. Whipping boys of football is Scotland. He's never there, by the way, to be positive, ever, Jamie O'Hara. Never mind when Scottish teams doing well. Don't think he's mentioned Hearts on his show once. He just hammers Scottish football at the best of time, but that's okay. Celtic, a bit of a reality check. 3-1 defeat last night. I mentioned it just earlier on. 3-0 down at half-time. Rangers, fans beginning to turn as well, and some of the underperforming players. Where is Scottish football at European level? I'll say it. We're miles off it, that's for sure. Mal, the very defensive Rangers fan, stuck up for Scottish football last night after a bit of a winding up by Jamie and Jason on the sports bar.
Rangers and Celtic will win the Conference League. They're
no, you wouldn't.
Doing that. So,
no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't. You're not good enough.
Jimmy.
I don't know whether you would, mate.
I have to. We'll agree to disagree,
no,
Jimmy.
But you're bottom. Hold on.
Because you said that there's teams in Europe. You said that there's teams in Europe that financially they're on the same sort of position as Rangers and Celtic with their sort of money, and they're doing well. I mean, Magic Land. I mean,
but you're saying you'd win the Europa Conference League. I'm saying you wouldn't.
100%, Jimmy. 100%. West Ham can do it, and Rangers played West Ham. West Ham won it a few years ago.
Because they're a Premier League football club.
You're not beating West Ham that year they won it. You weren't beat West Ham that year.
Jason, we could have played West Ham in the final, but we ended up playing Frankfurt.
Do you know what? Mal's got a point. Don't forget, I mean, as much as it pains me to say it, Rangers are actually all right in the Europa League. They've had some decent runs. They won a final just, 3 seasons ago, Rangers were in the final. Jamie and Jason, I love that show, but even when I tuned in this morning and listened back in the talkSPORT app, and it's just like, Celtic and Rangers, what's happened to Scottish football? All I hear over the last couple of weeks is how good Hearts is for Scottish football. And then you listen to them and all they do is complain. And they're not there when you're winning. They're not there when you're winning trebles. They're not there. They never mention it. Okay, so just pipe it. Put a sock in it, you two. Other than that, it's a great show. Conference League, by the way, just on that subject. Palace beat AZ Alkmaar 3-1. Ismaila Sarr again at the double, 8 goals for the season so far. Oliver Glasner praised the impact of Sarr, having had to step up to fill Eberechi Eze's sized hole.
He gets my credit definitely, he gets our credit definitely, and I don't know, I hope the most important credit he gets from his wife and his 4 children. He's quite busy with 4 at home, but it looks like he's dealing really well with this. And again, we know when he has space, he's really good. He has such great runs and he has such great finishes. And you remember it was more or less the same finish than he had against Brighton, but where he hit the post. He had the same finish against Aston Villa in the FA Cup, and he's a very important player for us because he's the one with most pace and with the most runs in behind. With the most sprinting distances, that helps. He creates space also for the others. So, he's done really well.
Oliver Glasner there, praising Ismaila Sarr, and as he should. And I was just saying to producer Sim there, how refreshing to hear a manager talking about the wife and kids, giving a bit of credit to the family. Nice to hear. Can you imagine he'd got 4 kids at home? Must be a busy, busy fella. I don't know if any of you have seen we're talking about TikTok earlier on, James Maddison on TikTok. They put up a video the other day. He's got 2 sets of twins. One of the sets of twins are just newborns, right? And it's like the 2 kids eating their dinner. They're like age 4. His son, who's next to him, is 5. The wife's breastfeeding one. James is holding the other one. And he was like, 5 under 5, pure chaos. And I thought, that just looks wild. Absolutely wild. Fair play. You don't get the Irish families like that anymore. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Lots of action coming up from the Europa League and the Conference League. More to come later on in the show. European football, by the way, returns to the talkSPORT network on Tuesday, 25th of November. We've got 2 nights of Champions League chat week, followed again, as usual, by the Europa League and the Conference League the days after that. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn with you till 6. And coming up next, you can find out what Sunderland captain Granit Xhaka has been saying ahead of his reunion with Arsenal tomorrow. Good morning, welcome along to Friday Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn with you till 6, and then it's Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders on talkSPORT Breakfast. Good morning to Joe and Lindsay, who've already texted me sent me a WhatsApp fuming that I've revealed what happened in Traitors. Love when people are like, I turned on the radio and you revealed what happened. I'm like, guys, we give everything away here. We don't hold on to score lines, do we? No. We have to give them away as well. Anyway, some of your headlines you're waking up to today. Middlesbrough have rejected an approach from Wolves to speak to manager Rob Edwards. The doomed Premier League side will be managerless this weekend for the trip to Stamford Bridge. Live and exclusive here on talkSPORT. talkSPORT understands, by the way, that Enzo Maresca is being not just backed but encouraged to rotate by Chelsea's hierarchy as part of a season-long strategy. I wonder how this will work out. The Chelsea boss has made 85 changes so far this season, 16 more than Liverpool. Premier League leaders Arsenal have rotated the third most players at 67, and Maresca is back to get rewards for his rotation come the business end of the season. And also, Thomas Tuchel has decided to give Jude Bellingham an England recall for the World Cup qualifiers against Serbia and Albania. Adi Oladipo and Darren Bent discussed what the main talking points could be, with a big focus on the attacking midfield positions.
My gripe with Foden has always been, like, why can't we see the same Foden for England? I've always said that he's a phenomenal player for City, but we'd never ever seen half of that player for England. But I can't wait for tomorrow, the England squad. Boy, because Bellingham at the minute's on fire for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Foden is back to his best for Manchester City.
Yeah.
Wharton's playing well for Palace.
Yeah. So it's going to be such a good squad. It's almost like it's the World Cup squad. It isn't, but it feels like that. Like, whatever squad he names tomorrow, if you're not in, then that could be it. Grealish is playing really good for Everton. Yeah. Someone's going to miss out.
I just wonder if you're right. Will there be? Because you've got to think Palmer's not going to be in it tomorrow. No, he's injured.
Yeah,
but you think being
that's almost saved Tuchel.
Darren Bent and Adi Oladipo back on Drive today from 4 o'clock on talkSPORT. It's interesting, isn't it? Even I'm a bit encouraged to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be in this England side. Will Jack Grealish be back in? Will Foden be in? Will Danny Welbeck from Brighton be called up? More on this as it drops on our website, talksport.com. And then, of course, as the squad is announced, we'll have you posted here on talkSPORT. Tom Clayton is here now for a look at today's back pages. There's a lot of focus, Tom, on, of course, the England squad being announced today. Yeah. And it looks like Bellingham's back.
Absolutely. The Sun have gone with an interesting headline. Tuchel's a bell ringer. I mean, personally, I don't know what happens in his personal life, but I think this is more referring to that call to Jude Bellingham. Look, I think this what's been said has kind of been a bit overblown. I think this relationship between the two of them, Bellingham's not had the best of start to the season, and I kind of understand why he wasn't selected straight away for the England squad when there are so many good attacking players playing so well at the moment. I mean, the fact that Phil Foden's not been called up, I mean, that's another big talking point. Martin Blackburn in The Sun talks about it, and about how John Stones has mentioned it as well. And look, I think, as Benty was saying there, we've not seen the best of Phil Foden, but you can't ignore his form for club. And I just think it's really interesting to see how this team is going to look, because they have been playing well recently under Tuchel.
Yeah, but also, since we're in November now, you have seen the best version of Phil Foden.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
He absolutely is back to his best version. You can't take that away from him. You know, fair play last season, but this season, Phil Foden is looking like Phil Foden. So I don't understand why you wouldn't select him based on form.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there is something else going on, unless there's something personal going on there in the background. But I mean, I have no reason as to think why he would not be in the squad.
Yeah, I mean, there's been all this talk about Man City and Pep Guardiola needing a Kevin De Bruyne replacement, and it's kind of like, well, he's already been there. He's already been playing well.
Yeah,
Phil Foden is that guy, and it's just a case of whether that form can transpire into the England squad, because they play a slightly different system, and sometimes he's forced to play out on the left.
Exactly. Some of the guys in the office instantly dismissed the idea that Danny Welbeck will be called up.
I think it would be brilliant.
I think it would actually be good for just a bit of morale, a bit of positivity.
It's the feel-good story.
A feel-good story.
Yeah.
God forbid we had a feel-good story in football.
I know, tell me about it. But honestly, I love seeing Danny Welbeck, apart from when he scores again's Leeds last weekend. We don't talk about that. But I like it when... I love it when I see Danny Welbeck scoring goals, because I think he's such a trooper.
Yeah.
He just kind of powers on, and he just is what he is, and then in the background. It's kind of like, actually, this guy's pretty good. Should we give him a call again?
Why not? Why not do that for A, for football, B, there's no reason, again, based on form, why he should be there. If he's not, is it a bit of an age thing? Then don't be ageist against
Is it an age thing, or is it a fact that he plays for Brighton and he doesn't play for a Big Six club? I think that's less of a thing nowadays. But
yeah, and he's actually never ruled himself out of being selected by England. Of course, he's 35 in 19 days, 6 goals in 5 Premier League games, and is eyeing a call-up 7 years after the last of his 42 caps. Yeah, you likely won't play him. Yeah. But based on form, I think he should be there. It'd be good to see.
Even Fabian Hertzler was saying after his goal-scoring exploits, he's like, he's got to at least think about him.
And he said he wouldn't trade him for anyone. He would not trade him for anyone. What else have we got quickly, please, Tom?
So also staying with the Sun, no Jacques boo-hoo. Yep. Because Granit Xhaka is returning to Arsenal this weekend, Saturday 5:30, Sunderland against Arsenal. Now, interestingly, he talks about how the day he was booed off by the Arsenal fans, the day he lost the Arsenal captaincy back in October 2019, 6 years ago, he said that was the worst day of his life. But it was also the best because it prompted him to really focus up, kick on in his career. He did very, very well, obviously, with Bayer Leverkusen, and then he's come to Sunderland. And I think he's been brilliant. I think he's been such a good signing and pivotal. And, the older midfielder seems to be making a comeback in the Premier League this year.
He's just got experience, hasn't he? So much experience and, older and wiser. He's exactly what Sunderland needed, being promoted to the Premier League. I heard Jeff and Ali talking about it on talkSPORT Breakfast on Monday morning. Is he the signing of the season? Yeah. Have Sunderland got this so right? But you go back to that day, you go back to when he left Arsenal, he was 27, so he's just got, more going on for him. I think him returning to the Emirates maybe will be appreciated that little bit more. Sometimes you have to leave to be appreciated. And actually, before he left Arsenal, he'd really turned a corner as well.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Looking forward to this one. We'll have you posted in that game, of course. The Gunners against Sunderland live on talkSPORT. All of the updates. Sunderland against Arsenal tomorrow, 5:30. Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll speak to you again very, very soon. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, big weekend in the Premier League and the Championship. We will get stuck into it like a rat up a drain pipe. Good morning.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what will make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting Eagles, Eagles, Brighton fans had the perfect reply. Seagulls, seagulls. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Morning, you're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn with you with some of your headlines this morning. Sad news from the NFL, which broke yesterday. Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman Marshawn Kneeland has died at the age of 24. Kneeland was drafted by the Cowboys in the second round in 2024 and played 18 times for the team, including 4 starts. Our thoughts really go out to his friends and family. Such sad news. Also back home, there were protests and several arrests last night ahead of Aston Villa's 2-0 Europa League victory over Israel side Maccabi Tel Aviv. 700 police were deployed across the city of Birmingham. Elsewhere, Forest drew, Celtic and Rangers both lost, and Palace won in the Conference League. And we've a mouth-watering championship game to bring you exclusively on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow, as Frank Lampard's league leaders Coventry City travel to second place Stoke City, managed by legendary former Coventry boss Mark Robbins. Ooh, spicy. Lampard sat down with talkSPORT's very own Coventry lad Anil Kandola yesterday as part of the EFL Week of Action campaign, which every year showcases clubs' importance with their communities supporting people's health, happiness, social connections, education and economic prospects. Here's Lampard on tomorrow's all-important game.
Every game's absolutely a challenge. You know, we felt that we went to the one game we've been at low par this season is Wrexham when we go there and lose. So it's hard to analyse the game in a sense of will it be easy, will it not? But we have to do our job and understand Stoke are in very good form, very good opponent. They're second for a reason. Got good players, good coach. Has got a link to this club as well, obviously. But we have to go with a feeling of like, can we go as we've been playing for a majority of the season? Can we go and back ourselves to go there and give a good account of ourselves? If we do that, at this point we back ourselves in this league to get results because we've shown that. But again, we have to go and show at the weekend.
Absolutely. I think, you know, the defeat after the Wrexham one, I think that was a real test of your team's character. How are they going to respond to a loss, which you guys are not used to at this moment in time? But the way they did, particularly in that second half, that must have been what a Frank Lampard team should be about, isn't it?
Well, I think it's what the best teams do, right? If you're trying to compete towards the top of a league, which at this point we are, then you have to react very quickly to a performance like that, which can come. Difficult games sometimes comes for whatever reason. You're below par, changes to the team, slightly below par, they come. But the important thing is they don't come again and again and again. And the best thing is to try and react to get that one out of the system, to try and get points on the board again. And we did that. As I say, those things can be a good lesson as long as you learn them. Like every game we have to be full blast. We have to be the best version that we can be, which we predominantly have been this season. And if we can do that, then we'll have a chance of winning a lot of games. So we have to continue.
Frank Lampard speaking to talkSPORT's Anil Condola ahead of this game. It is a huge one. I mean, fair play to the job that Frank Lampard is doing at Coventry. Coventry take on Stoke at the top of the Championship. Tomorrow it's exclusively over on talkSPORT 2, 3 o'clock. As always, Adrian Durham going around the grounds here on talkSPORT with all of the goals as they go in from the EFL and the Premier League on Game Day Live. That's a year ago today. Coventry sacked Mark Robbins as their manager. So nearly a year of Frank Lampard there, and he's looking good, that's for sure. More on the website talksport.com. Let's look ahead to what's coming up this weekend in the Premier League as well. Tomorrow you've got a good one here on talkSPORT, 12:30. Tottenham taking on Manchester United. Of course, that's gone back to the Europa League final back in May. Also Everton and Fulham. West Ham take on Burnley. Sunderland face Arsenal. Chelsea against a managerless Wolves is exclusively on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. And then Sunday, Palace versus Brighton. Villa take on Bournemouth. Brentford face Newcastle. Forest host Leeds. And Manchester City take on Liverpool in the later game on Sunday. Looking forward to that. So Arsenal looking to steal a march on City and Liverpool. Their closest challengers in the league at the moment. 2004 Gunners invincible Lauren joined at breakfast yesterday. Ray Parlour getting on the phone to his old pals, and he said this is now a completely different Arsenal side.
I always say to people over here in Spain that it's the most balanced team. You know, we always been hoping that Arsenal should be able to win the Premier League, but this season we really, it's not just the hope. Is that we build up a squad that is competitive. They can be able to win any team in the league and also in the Champions League, scoring 4 goals against Atletico Madrid. In the last 15 games, we just conceded 3 goals. So that's telling you that it's not just the first 11. There is people in the bench that can come up and make the difference. We see Merino, we see Trossard, we see Martinelli, so the team is balanced in every kind of position.
Wow, invincible Lauren there yesterday on talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour. I can only imagine Ray picking up the phone to have that chat. You know, hello mate, come on show tomorrow. Yeah, send you a Zoom link. Very, very sweet. Good to have him on the show as ever. More on the website talksport.com. And of course, coming up this weekend, the old A23 derby between Palace and Brighton. Danny Welbeck, we spoke about earlier on about will he be selected for the England squad today for Thomas Tuchel, joint second top scorer in the league, and his manager Fabian Hürzeler could not be more happy with his striker.
I wouldn't swap Danny for any player in the world because of course the media, they always try to reward him for the goals, and that's in the end very important, but I try to judge him by his personality, how important he is. For us as a player, as a person, like I always try to emphasize, he's a great connector beside the pitch. He's a great leader beside the pitch. He's a great role model. So that's why we are very pleased that he's here, and I think he's in an outstanding shape. So to answer your question, no, I wouldn't change.
Some people just get better with age. What great form he's in at the moment. We mentioned this earlier on with Tom. It'd be lovely to see him called up. A feel-good story in football, Danny Welbeck. Good luck to him. If not, I'm sure he'll keep going on the way he's doing regardless. Coming up for you very, very soon in the show, you're going to hear from Ruben Amorim. He's been asked about Cristiano Ronaldo's latest criticisms of Manchester United. And of course, he's been speaking ahead of United's trip to Spurs tomorrow. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Good morning on the text to Darren. He says, Shebahn, calm down. There's a good start. That's how you make a woman feel really, really happy. Tell her to calm down. Darren is probably single. He said, don't take it personally. Jason and Jamie are right. Celtic and Rangers have destroyed Scottish football. Darren, thank you as ever for your message. And this is Andy. This is what I'm up against. right? Andy says, number 1, 10 million viewers for Traitors suggests that over 80% of the population didn't watch it. So the nation hasn't invested in it, as you suggest, loser. Number 2, it's not chomping at the bit, it's champing, though you're not alone in getting that wrong. Andy, delete this number, you little freak. Right, time now for the front pages with Tom.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Oh, Thomas.
I was going to tell you to calm down, but I'll not bother.
Calm down.
Okay.
That's always a good one, yeah. Tell her to calm down. See how that goes. See how much calmer she gets.
Yeah, absolutely. Always works in my house. Always works. That's why I've been single for so long. Yeah, just keep on telling people to calm down.
Are you seeing anyone, Tom?
Not at the minute, no.
Okay. Are you looking for love?
I've just moved house and we've had a very busy summer with work, so I've not really had time. I'd like to at some point. It might be a 2026 venture.
A 2026. Okay, you'll look to. Okay, well, let us know when you're ready and we'll put you out there. Because what a lovely guy you are.
Thank you. That's
you're
very kind.
Lovely. You're lovely.
Well, speaking of putting things out there, we'll put things out there like British slang.
Oh, aye.
And this is across the pond. Apparently, British slang, according to the language app Babbel, is becoming very popular among our American friends. The words like bonkers, that's the number one phrase out there at the moment.
You call bonkers slang?
Well, yeah, because if you call someone crazy, I mean, you don't hear an American say, oh man, that was bonkers.
Okay.
I mean, you can kind of hear it nowadays, but I mean, I'm not sure. But also words like cheeky, wonky, they're becoming very popular over in US shores. Snarky, saying cheers for things as well, not just cheers in glasses, you know.
Cheers, is it? That's been in America for ages.
Yeah, but I feel like you kind of cheers people, and it's been in America for a while, but then just in general use, like I would normally say, if someone does something for me, I'll say, oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah, no,
you don't really hear Americans do that. So
the Americans.
But yeah, that's on the Sun, page number 17. Next, I'll take you to the Daily Star, and no, we're not looking at the
Bible.
We're not looking at the wonderful pictures of Trent in Calvin Klein underwear with his shirt off.
I didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice that at all. We'll look at the story next to that, where celebrities are apparently paying up to £40,000 to clone their dogs and cats.
What?
I mean, could you imagine? I mean, I understand people absolutely love their pets, and they are more than welcome to memorialise them however they like. There was this story about Tom Brady, the American football, one of the greatest of all time. He apparently came out a couple of weeks ago and said, "Oh yeah, I've cloned my dog." And it's like, hang on, how have you cloned your dog? Well, they're taking parts of their DNA sample, and then it's a bit like IVF in a way. They're kind of replanting, and then they're trying to get the same animal out of the other side, and paying up to 40 grand. Some people, well, I say some people, I don't earn that much in a year. So can you imagine?
It's so brutal, isn't it? Life and death. That if you can try and hold on to your animal in that way, and you've got the money, I guess you would try and do it.
And if you're a celebrity and you sort of think, right, I found the perfect dog, I don't want another one, and you just grow the same dog again.
That's very weird, though. I don't like science too much freaks me out. That's
I do know what you mean.
Isn't it? But honestly, like when the dog goes.
Oh, honestly. I keep on saying my favourite person in the world is my brother's dog.
I love him.
He's great.
I mean, I love my cat, right? He's the best, but he doesn't care about me, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't care. But I was thinking about him last night. He was lying like kind of up on my chest, just purring his wee ears off on me, and I was like, you're so cute. But then, like, I actually feel like when my dog Paddy, when he went, I think I was about 13, 12 maybe, and it was the end of the world, you know.
Yeah.
And when people lose their dogs, it's the worst.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, like when
fun chat for a Friday night.
It is, yeah, really fun. Sorry, Steve.
I kind of get Tom Grady's point now.
Yeah, I kind of get it, yeah. Yep. And also we'll finish on British Airways, this one in The Guardian, page number 21. They've struck a deal with Starlink, so that means when you go for a flight, a nice long-haul flight to the Bahamas or somewhere glamorous, somewhere hot and sunny, you don't have to sit in a tin can for 7 hours and do nothing, because BA are going to give you free super fast Wi-Fi on board. Yeah, just think you can watch all of the YouTube content you like, and you can watch all of the highlights of Celtic's great years from a few years ago. Well, I support Leeds. Our great years.
What was that about? Where'd that come from?
You know.
Savage from you.
Well, you know.
If you keep that up, you'll be single for another 10 years.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, Wi-Fi on the plane, I kind of like getting on a plane and not having Wi-Fi.
I quite like it as well.
Yeah.
I kind of like
one place, you know,
that feeling of getting off the
you
plane.
can get it in some planes, can't
It's
you?
kind of like, yeah. But yeah,
but
super fast Wi-Fi coming to a BA flight near you.
Yeah, just raw dog it. Keep raw dogging it.
Perfect.
That is the thing, right? With you, just stay on the plane.
Just staring.
Just checking that was nothing else. Tom, thank you very much. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll look ahead to a massive game for you tomorrow live on talkSPORT. It's Spurs versus Manchester United. Good morning. Good morning, you're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne with you. Hope you're all right. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast back in the next 10 minutes with Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders. And it's time now for a bit of this.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
So in a couple of weeks it'll be Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The first fight won by unanimous decision by Eubank. Former light middleweight champion Liam Smith, who fought Eubank twice, winning once and losing the other, said it's still a huge bout, even the second time around.
Regardless of what you think of everyone around it, you know, Eddie, the scenario with the fathers selling the fight and whatnot, it was a good fight. You know, take everything away from it. It was a good, entertaining fight to watch, and it was a lot better than most people expected.
Yeah,
and I said before, I think the rematch is probably going to be stylistically the same type of fight.
God, the first one just feels like yesterday, doesn't it? It brings it all back. And we've got a brilliant prize for you, by the way, up for grabs. This is an absolute knockout from us here at talkSPORT. We're giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to the rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday the 15th of November. The prize includes a one-night stay at a 5-star hotel in London, plus £5,000 spending money to make it an unforgettable weekend. Honestly, what a brilliant prize this is. 2 tickets to the fight in a nice posh seat as well, a lovely hotel for you and a friend or you and your partner, and £5,000. Get involved with this. Here's how you can enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Good luck to you. That would be great, wouldn't it? Also coming up for you tomorrow here on talkSPORT 12:30. Tottenham Hotspur take on Manchester United. The Premier League weekend gets underway with a bang in North London. The repeat, of course, of May's Europa League final. How did that end again? Just joking. We all know what happened. Manchester United haven't lost a game since Brentford beat them at the end of September. And Ruben Amorim says that confidence is flowing.
I think we are more confident. We believe more that we can win any game, and we prove already that we can win any game. The last game was tough on us because in some moments we were not the team that we're supposed to be in every minute, and compare that to Brighton, and we suffered 2 goals against Brighton, but was a different thing. So we know that we cannot forget that we have a lot to improve. We are more prepared for anything that happened in the game, so that is also a good thing. So we are in the better moment, but we also know that we have a lot to do, a lot to improve to be to win more this kind of games and consistently win games in a row. So we know that we are capable, we are confident, but we also know that we struggle sometimes in games that we need to do better.
I just find everything Ruben says spot on. You know, I think he says it pretty straightforward, the way it is, the way that we see it as well. Fingers crossed they can keep going this way. Feels like he has really turned a corner a year in at the club. Amorim has also asked his thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo's latest interview with Piers Morgan, stating the pretty obvious that the club hasn't been run too well for a while. Here's what the Manchester United manager said about that.
He knows, and he has a huge impact in everything he said. What we need to focus is in the future. We know that we as a club made a lot of mistakes in the past, but we are trying to change that. So let's not focus what happened. Let's focus what we are doing now, and we are doing that. We are changing a lot of things in the structure, the way we do things, the way we want the players to behave. We are doing that, and we are improving. So let's focus on the way we are doing things. We are improving. Let's continue and forget a little bit the past.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that. What's the point in continuously looking back? Ronaldo's last interview that he did with Pierce was kind of like slating the way Man United was when he was there. You're going back years, let's move forward now. And I think he's really good at focusing on what's ahead. And fingers crossed, it continues this weekend. You can hear it live here on talkSPORT tomorrow. Spurs taking on Manchester United 12:30. Of course, Spurs were great, weren't they? Midweek, Mickey van de Ven, oofed. Absolutely wonderful. Just looking at the Premier League for you, of course, Arsenal, 25 points at the top. Man City in second on 19 points, and Liverpool behind them in 18 points. And they play each other on Sunday. All the updates coming for you at 4:30 when that game kicks off. Also coming up for you here, talkSPORT breakfast this morning. The big man is here. You can see him through the window. My God, he's a vision this morning. He looks absolutely glorious. Cannot wait to see his little cute face. Alan Brazil is joined by Dean Saunders this morning in for Ray Parlour. And Brazil, he does struggle to pronounce Azerbaijan, doesn't he?
Chelsea draw an Shebahn.
Shebahn?
Yeah.
As a Shebahn.
Yeah, and I think that's
Azerbaijan.
As a Shebahn. I've been called a hell of a lot worse. Enjoy it. talkSPORT breakfast with Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders on the way next.